All right, you guys, in the spirit of additional content, because I'm going to be busy this weekend, so I won't have time to sit and record, I wanted to offer you guys, in addition to the solstice sort of overall check-in, a relationship-focused spread. So a lot of times the same themes come through if I do videos close together, but I'm just curious. I'm going to use a few other decks to clarify, but let's just see what comes up for relationships. So again, apply this to your relationships in general. Maybe there's one relationship you're thinking of, but I really encourage you to notice the patterns in all your relationships, because things are not compartmentalized. Like what's showing up in one way, like whether it be in your family life, is probably showing up in your romantic life somehow, is probably showing up with your clients or friends or whatever. So, you know, it's all connected. So let's just see what comes through. I'm gonna just pull. You know, sometimes I like to make certain, I don't know, freestyle is my way. So let's just see what's coming up. Just let the cards move me. Okay, we're getting the Empress reversed, the Five of Pentacles reversed, and the Six of Wands reversed. And underneath the deck, we're getting the Four of Swords reversed. I'm going to clarify these and then talk about them. Let's just see. I got a new deck, like I said, coming that is going to be really nice because it's a lot of different words, which will help as clarifiers. But let's just see here what we get. Okay, so I gotta wear my glasses. It is what it is. All right, we're getting the Emperor. Interesting. So we're getting the Empress reversed, but we're getting the Emperor upright. So there could be an opportunity here to lean back. And this is kind of what I was sharing. I just don't like that there's like a glare on the glasses, but it's okay. I was sharing this in the solstice reading that a lot of times when we're having an issue, sorry, I'm just reading what's on these cards. The struggle is real, you guys, but you know what? I'm just resisting the glasses full time because my eyes get tired. There was something I was talking about in the solstice check-in about letting it be easier, simplifying things, maybe stripping away some things that are a little unnecessary, that might have been a comfort zone but not necessarily really needed right now. So for me, I had to lean out my business costs a bit. I needed to just simplify some of my processes, and I needed to make it simpler all around for now, right? Who knows for later. I like simple, less is more. Higher quality, more depth. That's really for me. But I'm just saying, like, there are moments in time where it's going to feel almost counterintuitive to do less or to take some things away. But I'm feeling like with the feminine energy here being in the reverse and the Emperor being upright and strong to clarify it, it feels like this is the feminine. The yin nature of things is to create space, and that was the whole theme of the solstice, was like, what do you need to physically, tangibly release in your life to create space? Because again, space is a vacuum. When you make space, it's magnetic. It starts to attract something else. And so not immediately, sometimes you need to let it be there for a little while, but that's just what I'm feeling. It's almost like the structure and things might be stable, but it's the emotional nature, or it's the leaning back that's going to allow you to get the answers that you need around your relationships. And there could be a need to learn to receive more, to be able to be supported, to allow yourself to be, like I said, magnetic instead of as active. It's like a different kind of passivity. It's like a receptivity that takes practice for a lot of people, because we're not really conditioned to allow my nose, we're back. I don't know how many of you guys do intuitive stuff, but when I do intuitive readings, sometimes my nose gets so itchy all of a sudden. It's the weirdest thing. So don't mind me. It wasn't happening earlier, but it's happening right now. So who knows? The energy is changing. So that's what I'm feeling with this. Let's move on, so we'll tie it all together. The Five of Pentacles is here in the reverse, and it's coming with the King of Pentacles upright, which says Prince of the Chariot of Earth. To create the stability in your material realm, to really have the things that you need physically, tangibly, materially, it requires a letting go once again. We've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. There's this emptying that wants to happen. A letting go, a shedding, a lightening of your load. In the Rider-Waite, it's like the two characters outside the church and it's snowy and they're like hobbling and they look like they're having a really hard time and like they're scarce and they're struggling. But in the reverse, it feels like that's exactly the pattern that needs to go. That feeling that there's never enough, no matter how much you have. I know a lot of people that have a lot more materially than I do, and they don't feel stable. Even in that abundance, they still don't feel safe. They still don't feel like it's enough. It's like this insatiable disconnect from source. So you can never feel full enough. It always feels like there's never enough. And so that's really a pattern that's coming out very clearly right now, both in, not just in this reading, I mean collectively, I'm seeing it in this industry, in the coaching industry, wellness industry, places where people have just had this insatiable need for more, but then getting more, and still feeling that scarcity. And that is something internal, right? That's a belief system, that's something else going on. And it has nothing to do with the amount of dollars. Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. Some people are here to make a lot of money. But if you don't feel that it's enough, no matter how much you have in your material realm, there's something else going on there. And there is a deep disconnect from source that people are experiencing. And so they're looking for their stability and their security out there in things and people and situations. But those things are all impermanent. So you're never going to feel completely stable there or safe. It helps to have money, of course it does. It helps to have your home and all the things to have the basics, sure. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a belief that you've always got what you need because you are connected to the universal energy. And I use the word source because that's what resonates the most to me. You could use the word universe, God, whatever, all that is. That's a deep pattern that's being revealed here. And so the next cards here of sort of how to move forward, we're getting the Six of Wands in the reverse, and then the Three of Pentacles. It says Lord of Material Work. A lot of pentacles here, mostly pentacles actually. So there could be some efforting that needs to happen for you, some collaborating, some allowing yourself to receive support from others. That's very Three of Pentacles, working together. Not just trying to do it all on your own, which could be why the Empress is in the reverse, because in your relationship world, there could be a need to learn to receive some support that you haven't allowed yourself in the past, trying to do it all alone and then getting frustrated, like, why am I not experiencing results? Well, maybe you're at a phase in your journey where it's time to be supported in a way that doesn't make you feel powerless. And I really want to emphasize that because that's just what I heard very loud and clear. Like, you can be supported by people, but when you are being supported, but in some way you feel like you have no power, that's very different than feeling stable and secure within yourself and then receiving support from that place. Like nobody feels disempowered. You're not feeling helpless, like someone's saving you. It's really different, the frequency of that, the energy of that. So I feel that that's a big piece of this relationship phase that's wanting to resolve itself and a pattern that wants to shift within you that's going to massively improve the quality of your intimate life, romantic or platonic. And under the deck, we've got the Four of Swords reversed, and it's coming with the Six of Cups. Again, that was in my other reading, Lord of Pleasure. But Six of Cups is very much balance. It's a reciprocity happening. It's an even exchange. I mean, nothing's ever perfectly even, but do you know what I mean? Like, it feels very balanced. It feels nourishing. Lord of pleasure, like you're overflowing with pleasure. That's probably what you're wanting, but that's not necessarily how you're feeling yet. Because that's the underlying energy. When I see things under the deck, for me, that's like almost like a subconscious energy that's influencing the present moment. You know, the Four of Swords coming in the reverse is like you've had enough time probably to reflect. And if you've been resisting the reflection, then this is also an opportunity to say, all right, something here wants to be revealed. I'm going to actually pull from this deck, the Pleasure Oracle. Since we got Lord of Pleasure, I guess I pulled out these cards for a good reason. Let's just see what comes through here on each to give us a little more. Let's see. 1, 2, All right, so underneath we're gonna cut the cord. Interesting. I'm not big on like cord cutting. I know like a lot of people are really into that. I don't know. Personally, let's read what the card says. I have a sort of different perspective on this, but it says, as desiring emotional beings, we all have, I love this actually, it says we all have the capacity to be toxic, quote unquote. The trouble starts when we're caught up with someone who believes that they don't, someone who has no desire to grow or to encourage another's growth. You can't make these people change. You can't rush their growth. Rosebuds forced open will only be destroyed. Literally, my group is called Rose Temple for that exact reason, that roses need to, like, seeds need to be nurtured. But you can't force things on people that aren't ready. It says sooner or later, life asks us to burn a bridge. This is pretty extreme, but you know, sometimes that's the case. Or conduct a ritual and to sort of sever an exchange. And it says, in these times, search deep within and ask yourself if this person is restoring your energy or draining it. If it's draining, it's parasitic in nature. This isn't your hill to die on, angel. It's theirs. Damn. Listen up. It said, Lord of Pleasure. Underneath that is the star. Like, your destiny is not to be in misery with people who are committed to being the victim or to siphoning your energy because they aren't filling their own cup. And some people just simply do not know any better. They are doing the best they can in their level of consciousness. It is what it is. But let's say you're in relationship with somebody and you're like, damn, all I feel is drained with this person. Well, number one, it's probably a sign that you're not nourishing yourself enough and that it may be time to take a step into your own orbit to really take care and nurture yourself and practice that, because that's huge for a lot of people, especially if that's like new for you, then that is definitely crucial. But also sometimes it's just the sign that like I said, the Six of Cups before I even pulled that is a reciprocal, mutual, nourishing energy, and your relationships get to feel this way because you know what? I've been at this a really long time, and my relationships finally, after so many years, feel so healthy. There's no drama. I'm not dealing with that pushing and pulling with people. I'm not dealing with people violating my boundaries. Like, they're respectful. It feels mutually, like, it just, I can't explain. The word that comes is nourishing, but that took me going within, right? It takes us going within ourselves and really doing some deep reflection. But then after you're reflecting, you've got to start showing up differently. And sometimes showing up differently means releasing people. Sometimes we have to release things from our life in order to make the room for people who are ready and able to give as much as we have to give. But we've got to give to ourselves. We've got to really, it starts with you. The way that you treat yourself, honestly, is what brings people in at whatever, you know what I mean? Like, the better you treat yourself, the more that you pour into you, the more that you're operating from overflow, the better it's going to get. Your frequency changes. You start to attract different energy. I don't attract that drama anymore. It's been a few years now, and I've been off YouTube for a while. It's been really good lately, and it's not an accident. It's because I started showing up differently for myself, and I've also been in these intimate group spaces for the last couple of years, including leading them for my second year now with Rose Temple for a year. It's a long group. And you really see yourself, you see your stuff, you see what you're resisting, you see what needs to, you see where other people's issues are reflecting you back to you. And that is why a relationship is such a powerful conduit and vehicle to raise your consciousness and to heal and to grow and to evolve. Because you're seeing it in real time, and your perception and how you're perceiving the situation and whether you choose to take ownership and really start to show up differently for yourself is your choice. But you're not, when we're out of that victim mindset and we're like, you know what? I get to create a new reality for myself. You do. So it may be time to really take inquiry of who in your life you feel simply is not capable of meeting your needs. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, but some people they're not even meeting their own needs. So how are they going to meet yours? And are you asking? Are you speaking up? Are you advocating for yourself? But most importantly, it's not about forcing change on other people. It's about you changing. You do it. They're not doing the work. You do the work. It doesn't matter if other people are doing the work. This is my favorite thing. because people are so hyped, like, everyone in my life needs to come do their shadow work with me. No, they don't. My relationships have all evolved and nobody did their shadow work with me. I did it for me. And as I changed, you guys, I have a free class for this. It's called Bliss. I just hosted it like a couple of weeks ago. It's free. You can get the replay. It's an hour long. It was great. It's with all my links in the description box. So please feel free to go. The tag of that was learn how to turn any relationship. So this is not take the romantic love off the pedestal. Turn any relationship into a vehicle, a pathway for higher consciousness through the power of meditation, because it was through meditation that I was able to really shift my mindset. So that's available for you guys if you want. So to come back to the Empress, I got Divine Imperfection as the card here. And it says, you have a right to feel at home in your body by any means. This is interesting because in the solstice reading, the thing that I kept hearing was like, I don't feel at home here. I don't feel at home here, whatever that situation was. So it says, you have a right and a responsibility to breathe and appreciate the pure life flowing within you, your blood pumping, etc. I'm not reading all of this because it's a little wordy, but it says, even if your body often fails you, even if it doesn't feel like yours right now, even if it's laden with flaws, quote unquote, you're alive, imperfectly so, and that's what makes it so raw and real. So it says, it's basically encouraging you to accept what you're considering imperfect and to know that that's just a judgment. Like divine imperfection is that everything is perfect as it is. And yet the paradox there is that there's also always room to evolve. And so there's something here about maybe a self-judgment. It could be judging a woman in your life. It could be feeling out of touch with your feminine nature, your yin energy. It could be, I'm just going to clarify that. Let me just pull one of these cards. Hold on the Empress reversed. Interesting. So we're getting another queen, another feminine energy, and it's the Pentacles again, reversed. Maybe you're judging yourself because you haven't had the success that you've wanted, or the financial abundance, or the material successes that you think you should have had by now. Like maybe you're placing a lot of judgment on yourself for that and thinking that you're doing something wrong or there's something wrong with you. And what I'm hearing is that it's just like those are just thoughts passing through that if we attach them and we create a story, then we think that it's real. But it's just a story. It's not the truth. You're exactly where you need to be. One more? All these core cards, another King of Wands, but reversed. Yeah, and the Star reversed. So it's almost like you're exactly where you need to be. And whatever struggle you're having right now in your relationships, whatever this may be, whether you feel financially disempowered, maybe you feel like you've lost touch with what lights you up, maybe you're not taking action, it's like your destiny, you're not going to miss your destiny. Let's put it that way. Sorry for my nose. It is so active. It's so itchy in this reading. I don't know. A lot of energy moving. So the Star in reverse is like, your destiny is available. Don't worry. You're not going to miss out on your destiny. But what is the way to meet your destiny? What is the recommendation here? It's strength in the reverse. You've got to have courage. You might be feeling like you've been through a lot. You might be feeling like, I just don't have it in me to face another challenge like this. This is going to be such a big challenge. I'm not up for it. But you are. That's your mind. Your mind might be telling you a story, but the truth is that your soul, I just sent a newsletter, I do a weekly love note, and I've added in now as the love note, basically an audio message, like a short, under 10 minutes audio. And this week I was talking about this. It was like letting your soul lead means you have to understand that the ego, and this is all of us, we just have to be aware, the ego is going to try to control things to keep you safe. Your comfort zone feels safe. It's like everything in your subconscious might be resisting change because you're simply trying to avoid pain or whatever, discomfort, the unknown. But the truth is that the soul only wants to expand and continue expanding. So you're always going to be pulled in the direction of expansion. But your mind might be telling you a very different story here. I'm not strong enough. I don't have enough money. I'm not capable enough. I don't have the skills. None of that's true. And so bottom line, the Emperor is the one card here that's upright. Everything else came in the reverse. You have the power. You have the ability. The Emperor is that powerful, masculine drive, action, again, structure. Like you've got that. That's in your favor. What is throwing things off here, or what's feeling maybe like a challenge, is your emotional side and the fact that you might be beating yourself up. Divine imperfection, seeing all these flaws instead of understanding that this is all part of the equation. This is all you're gonna look back and be like, this was important, this moment was important, and believe me, I get this, because I've gone through it's been challenging around certain areas like this, and I really understand that in the moment, we can make a big story that isn't necessarily true. So moving on, we've got this in the position where there's the Five of Pentacles reversed and the King of Pentacles, we've got Memento Mori, M-O-R-I. It says, radical aliveness is an antidote to the unremarkable and ordinary. Stepping into this embodied state is the quickest way to an intensely pleasurable life. What is radical aliveness? It's remembering that you have only one wild and precious life, and that every day brings us closer to death. It's very Buddhist. We're just here, we're just dying every day. So it says, so live fully, openly, and in commitment to your enjoyment. Have a hidden fantasy you secretly want realized? Explore it. Want to feel a certain way? Chase that feeling. Life is your free buffet breakfast, and you live once, that we know of. I believe we live many times. Make sure you taste everything. I mean, maybe not literally, but the point is, yo fucking low. Like, you have this lifetime. You are here with the resources that you need, whether you see that or not. Because the King of Pentacles is literally upright. It's almost like you've got what you need in terms of the resources. Mentally, I feel like you're talking yourself out of it. Facts are, there's a program running here underneath that's like less like, I don't deserve this, or it's too hard, or I don't, again, maybe being like, oh, I don't have the skills, I don't know enough, I haven't done enough, but it's simply not true. Because the last one we have here is listen close. And this is about collaborating, and also about, I didn't talk about the Six of Wands reversed, but to me the Six of Wands reversed is almost like you might be too concerned about what other people are perceiving about you, the perceptions they have of you. You can't control people's perception of you. I've learned this having a public platform. People are going to think whatever the fuck they want about you. They're going to make judgments, they're going to make assumptions, they're going to insert their opinions, they're going to project their stories onto you, and none of that matters. And so that's just the way it goes, you know what I mean? You have to understand that other people's perception of you is not the truth of you. Therefore, it says, listen close. They say when someone tells you who they are, listen. But the challenge of listening is a question of presence. Most of us listen, quote unquote, to another person in order to react to them. Oh, this is so true. We wait for our turn to respond, projecting the best or else most reactive versions of ourselves outward in a bid to center ourselves and be heard. To be present is to completely connect with someone else in the moment, drinking in every word they say. Listening is a practice in big empathy, divorced of expectations or demands. Instead, it asks you to simply serve, to witness the divinity in another, imperfections and all, and we've even got that card here. Try deep listening today. You'll be amazed at how rewarding it is. Wow. I was literally just talking about that. First of all, once again, plug for Bliss, which is literally free, so go watch it. That's exactly what I was talking about in the class in terms of this unconditional presence. Like, really, truly, to deepen in intimacy, we have to practice deep listening. And that requires uncentering ourselves and allowing ourselves to witness another person being exactly who they are, and instead of jumping down their throat with our opinion, with our need to control the conversation, with our judgments, with our stuff, to really, we talked about this in Rose Temple Call today, like, to really love people where they're at is a practice. I'm not saying that it's an easy one, I'm just saying it's totally possible. And when I really started to put that into practice, this deep listening, stop making it about you and start truly listening. And people may be unconscious, maybe they don't know, maybe they don't understand themselves, whatever the case may be. It's our judgment of that. It's our, like, placing our expectations on people to be the way we think they should be in order for us to be at peace. that creates so much suffering. Let people be where they're at. Now, if you need to remove yourself, it says, maybe you do. Maybe you need a boundary, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just need to listen more deeply. I can't tell you the amount of times that people are like, no, I listen. But they're in their minds, they have 700 judgments rushing through like a river while the other person is talking. They're not listening. I've been there. I've done it, of course, a million times. That's why I say with complete empathy, your relationship life will dramatically transform when you practice loving people where they are. It doesn't mean you agree with them. It doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean that you, are going to go do the same thing. But people are where they are. Can you love them anyway? There's a great Ram Dass who is a spiritual teacher. I'm sure most of you guys know who that is, but yeah, I follow him pretty closely. And one of his lectures, he was talking about people, and he's like, let me just check the time so I don't go over time. Yeah, he was just saying, like, people are like the forest. Like, we go into the forest and we see like 700 kinds of trees. Do we judge that there's a maple and an oak tree and a pine tree and a this tree, and do we say that they don't belong as they are all together? No. We don't even notice it. But when it comes to people, it's like, nope, you can't be here, and that one doesn't belong, and this I have a judgment about, and also this. So he's like, let people be. People are like phenomena. And he says they're like old karma unwinding, like old karma's playing out. People are just like phenomena. Can we let them just exist and love them exactly where they are? Can we practice that? That in and of itself is, he said, like, okay, you're a liar and a cheat, that's your karma. How I respond to it is mine. If I'm lied to and cheated, that's my karma. If you're a liar and a cheat, that's your karma. If I'm betrayed and lied to, that's mine. That's mine, because then I created that, right? I'm just using that as an example because that was a quote from that lecture that he gave. Ultimately, we can only be responsible for our own awakening, and the biggest part of your awakening is going to be learning to love things as they are. Not when it's different, not when it changes, not later when it's better, sexier, this or richer, blah, blah, blah. Can we practice loving things as they are right now? It doesn't mean we don't desire change, but when you're not loving things as they are now, and what I mean by loving them is accepting them, then you're resisting them, and in resistance you suffer. And only you have that choice, that power. So I highly encourage you, if this is resonating, to watch Bliss, the class. It was just a really powerful one. And again, an hour free. Link is in the description there. All my links are on my LINKTREE, so you can find like all the freebies there. I also have another free class from earlier in the year called Opening to Deep Intimacy, or Opening to Intimacy, something like that. I don't remember, you guys. I do so many things. Opening to Intimacy in general. And I am running a special right now on one-to-one readings since we're kicking off this whole revival of YouTube. So you can book a 60 or a 90 minute at a lower cost. So I'm doing the hour long for $222 and then the 90 minutes for $333. Take advantage, grab one. You can book more than one if you want, as long as you use it like within 90 days. If you want to book more than one, you're more than welcome to. You know, those price points will go up as things get busier, and my normal rates are higher, but I wanted to really extend an opportunity to meet one-to-one again and start to connect with you guys and just give you personalized guidance, which is always helpful. And that is all for today. I really hope that this served you. I'm sending you guys so much love. It feels really good to be back. I'm happy to be back. So I'll see you guys in the next one.